had trouble in the low to mid 350s. We've been mentioning how this is an area that can be sold, and only can we buy the market through the rest of the year, really, unless we close any week above that 354.78 rising channel top. We've tested this a number of times over the last 2 months and have fallen away each time. And in fact, it was the channel bottom that we anticipated the first time, and that was back in early June. And obviously yesterday, that is Tuesday, we gapped and opened below the 311.08 rising channel bottom. And I see this as a long-term sell signal. Now, there are no certainties, of course, in terms of what we can expect. I've been mentioning 272.87 as a 1 to 2 week target. That is still in play. And I have that as a session containment level only. I do think what we're seeing now is 261.77. So holding below 311.08, I consider 261.67 a 2 to 3 week objective. Now, we could see that by the end of next week, potentially. Holding below 311.08, I'm expecting selling pressures to build, and 261.67 likely over the next 2 to 3 weeks. I also think, as I've been saying, that over the longer haul, as we continue into later Q3 over the next several months, we could actually see the 160s, 160.86 to 166.96 in reach over the next 2 to 3 months below 311.08. Now, on the way down, 261.77 would offer a meaningful secondary sell signal, sort of an underscoring confirmation of that longer term objective. And so if you're reluctant to go short now below 311.08, just know that our next meaningful sell signal on a longer term basis, which is a multi-week basis, would be a settlement below 261.77. And then it does become clearer and clearer to me that the 160s are likely within a matter of a couple of months of closing below the 261.77 formation. But I think you've got this rising channel bottom, rising flag at the base of a move. When you close below it, you expect at least the 221.86 low area that was established back in March and April. That is an expectation as well. This is probably over the next couple of months, holding below 311.08, expecting 261.77 over the next 2 to 3 weeks, closing below 261.77. We can clearly anticipate the 160s within a couple of months. But I do think that if you're kind of a big picture trader, you could conceivably be reaching for 160, 165 strike out of the money puts right now that don't expire. On this 2 to 3 month move, I would go 6 months out on the expiration prices of, say, a 165 out of the money put below 311.08. On the way down today, we do have 284.70, can contain intraday selling pressures. I don't see it as a substantial point. I do think that holding below 311.08, we can anticipate, as I've said, by the end of next week, 272.87. Check us out at wickedstocks.com. You get a 5-day free trial up front. You also get weekly Apple stock, daily triple Q, daily SPY, weekly S&P 500, weekly NASDAQ 100 analysis, and 2 stock picks every week. You can see that all by going to wickedstocks.com.